Hi, today I wanted to tell you about an interesting social psychology experiment on priming. Priming is the idea that the information that we're exposed to can influence our thoughts or our behaviors later on without us even realizing it. So this is what happens if you watch a commercial for a restaurant and then later on you decide to go to that restaurant even when you're maybe not thinking about that commercial anymore. And in this experiment, they wanted to see if a behavior could be primed by just having people read a list of words. And if you were a volunteer in this experiment, when you first showed up at the lab, they would have told you you're going to be going into a room and reading or studying a list of words for a certain amount of time. And then after you were finished, you would need to go back out to the hallway and tell the experimenter that you were finished and you were ready to leave. And there were 3 groups or conditions in this experiment. If you were in the first group, you would have been reading or studying a list of rude words, where each word on the list had a rude sound to it, or it sounded like it was just a rude sounding word. And if you were in the second group, you would have been reading or studying a list of neutral words, which is just a list of regular words that don't sound rude or nice. And if you were in the third group, you would have been reading or studying a list of nice or friendly sounding words. And after you were done reading or studying the list, you would have gone back out to the hallway to tell the experimenter that you were finished. And when you went out to the hallway, you would have found the experimenter having a conversation with someone out in the hallway. And the person that he or she was having a conversation with, the person that the experimenter was having a conversation with, was actually an actor who was hired to be a part of the experiment. And the experimenter was just having a fake conversation with this person. And they would have wanted to see if you would have interrupted the experimenter and to tell him or her that you were finished. And they wanted to see if more people in the rude word group would have interrupted the experimenter than people in the other 2 groups. They wanted to see if studying the rude words would have primed people to actually do a rude behavior and interrupt the experimenter. And in each of the 3 groups, they looked at the percent of participants who interrupted the experimenter, and the percent of participants who interrupted the experimenter was highest in the rude word group. And this makes sense because in the rude word group, you were primed by the words or you were influenced to do a rude behavior. And the percent of participants who interrupted the experimenter was lower in the neutral word group. And it makes sense that it was lower because they were just reading regular words. It didn't influence them to do a rude behavior. And the percent of participants who interrupted the experimenter was the lowest in the nice word group. And this makes sense too because in the nice word group, the words that you were reading would have maybe influenced you to be more friendly or more nice. And interrupting the experimenter isn't a nice or a friendly behavior, so reading the nice words would have made you even less likely than usual to interrupt the experimenter. And these results don't prove that reading a list of words can permanently influence your behavior, but it shows that studying or reading a certain types of information can at least influence your behavior temporarily. And this is interesting because when a lot of people go online and they go on sites like YouTube or Facebook, they often read a lot of friendly sounding words or a lot of rude sounding words. And a person who goes on one of those sites and reads a lot of friendly sounding words might at least be temporarily influenced to be more friendly or more nice. And a person who goes on one of those sites and reads a lot of rude sounding words might at least temporarily be influenced to be more rude or do more rude behaviors. And I just wanted to share this with you because I thought it was interesting, and I'll probably make some more videos to talk about some more experiments. And thanks for watching.